One of the main problems that everybody has, and definitely myself for a long time when I was training jiu-jitsu and even still now, is this idea of getting stuck on the bottom. I think for years it was my worst position, cross-side. I would say, man, I can't get out of this position. And it wasn't until recently that it really dawned on me, well, don't get into that position, right? If you can avoid it, don't go there.
Doctor, it hurts when I do this.
Yeah.
Don't do that.
Because the reality is, you get stuck in a position like that, and the odds are just definitely against you, right? You're not only fighting your partner, but you're fighting gravity as well. And I think it was Marcus Suarez that said that. I remember picking that up. And it makes a lot of sense. It's not a comfortable place to be, and you didn't just lie on your back and let somebody get there. Obviously, it was a progression of things. So the way that I try and look at escaping now is to escape before it gets that bad. So to take all the opportunities where things are ticking away and you're going, okay, they broke open my guard. Okay, they're stepping over my one leg. They're in half guard. You start to realize when somebody's more powerful than you or they're more technical and they're going to be coming around your side. And at that point, that's when I want to already start thinking about how am I going to save myself from being stuck on the bottom. So I don't know what you think, but when I'm playing with somebody your size, I already know, man, Stephan's a big mofo. I don't want him coming around my guard and just smashing me. And I'm thinking that your mentality must be, I'm going to smash through her guard and I'm just going to smother her and I'm just going to sit on top of her.
It depends how generous I'm feeling. If we're rolling and if I can keep my ego in check, then I don't actually want to crush you because I want to see what happens with the roll. But I could certainly see a situation where you've somebody else, where if you've tapped them out, this hypothetical Stephan, you've just caught me in an armbar or a choke or something, and I just want to get to side mount and hold you there. I might not be as good as you, but I know I'm heavier, and if I can just hold you in side mount, I don't think anything bad's going to happen to me till the end of the round anyhow. Mm-hmm. So I could see it being a big problem for smaller people that they just get pinned, and the person doesn't even try to submit them. The person doesn't try to move, because as soon as they try and move or try and submit, they give space.
Right.
And I'm not going to give you space because I don't want to get tapped out again.
Well, and that's precisely what I think you should work on, right? If you're a smaller frame person, you got to take the space. Your larger partner is generally not going to be able to hold you down as tightly as somebody your own size. And often, actually, I find that I have a harder time escaping from people that are my own size than I do necessarily from people that are bigger. And a lot of that is because you leave way more gaps, way more space. When I'm even training with people that are much smaller than me, it's difficult because I always say to them, I'm like, man, you are so hard to nail down and pin down. And it's usually because they've done a really good job of staying on their side and not flattening themselves out, right? So flattening yourself out and putting both your shoulders on the mat is probably the worst position you could get yourself into. I think I might think that that's worse than getting my back taken or the mount. So when I think about escapes now, I'm really trying to put my mind in the space of, I'm not even going to think about both shoulders on the mat, cross side, pin down. I'm not going to let myself get there. So angles are really, really important, and I know that's come up in a lot of other parts of this DVD. But again, you have to be able to stay on your side. You have to be able to utilize the space that your partner's giving you. If they leave a little gap between their knee and their hip, you got to shove your knee in there or just curl up like a little ball. Stay on your side, and your partner is going to have a really hard time rolling you out, right?
Well, that sounds really good. Can you show us what you mean by that?
Yeah, for sure. So if I lie, I'm going to assume the cross-side bottom position that everybody hates being in. And if you're right on top of me from this position, I'm totally flat on my back, and it's really hard for me to actually even make a frame and do anything here because I'm flat. I have no leverage. I have nothing. I don't really even have a lot of space.
And both your shoulder blades are flat on the ground.
Yeah, both my shoulder blades are flat on the mat, so you're covering way more distance on my body, right? I don't have a lot of give because I'm pancaked. Now, if we change the scenario, and instead of me starting with both my shoulders on the mat, let's show it maybe from this angle where you're over here. If I think about trying to play my escapes from here, now, even though you're trying to hold me down, it's a little bit of a different scenario, right? Because there's a lot of space here and you can't pancake me out, right? We'll come on this side. I'm on my side. I'm not completely flat, but I have way more space, so I'm able to actually keep you off of me.
And it's harder for me to compress your breathing as well.
It is. It's never comfortable, but at least I can breathe. At least I have some use of my hands, some use of my legs. I can start moving and thinking about what else I can do.
So how do you get there if you do, don't get there, but if you do get there, how do you make that 20 degree, 30 degree, 45 degree shift?
The easiest way that I try to, do this is when somebody's gonna inevitably pass, I am automatically thinking, get on your side, right? Every time I play off my back now, it's not a matter of staying flat on my back. As soon as I feel like my partner's starting to move around me, I just go to my side.
So show me.
So we're here, right? Instead of me staying here and going, oh no, Stephan passed my guard, when you start to come around, I'm already here, right? So even though he has, walked around my leg, he hasn't cleared my guard yet, and I bought myself a little bit of time and space because I didn't just go, oh, he passed my guard, let me lie on my back and wait for the cross-side escape, right? And that little change in thinking has really done a lot for me, and I wish I'd learned that maybe as a white belt or a blue belt, because I think I could have been a lot better, a lot faster.
Well, these guys will get better a lot faster. Damn them.
I really feel like when I'm teaching my students, I tell them all the time, my job as an instructor is hopefully to make you learn all the things that I've learned in less time, right? So that's something that I think is really important, and when it comes to escaping, I spend a lot of time learning things from the worst position. But I should have spent more time learning things in between. And that's some of the stuff that we're going to go over for the rest of this section.